Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone, wherever you are in the world. My topic here today is we'll discuss the cost optimization and how we can improve the cost transparency and lowering the operation costs. Since it's a last event, you guys have attended all the events, so I will not take much of your time. We'll go quickly towards the topic. So, what is cost optimization? When it comes to cost optimization, cost cutting, these definitions are like we have been listening for a while, especially this pandemic situation. So, what is cost optimization? It is maybe obtaining the best prices, the best rates, maybe the best contract terms and condition for the business, or what do you call it? Standardizing and simplifying the procurement process, removing the complexity, decomplexify the process, or maximizing the business value. All these definitions would be correct when it comes to the cost optimization. Cost optimization doesn't mean only that you are going to lower the cost, you are reducing the cost, you are sharpening your pencil, you are cutting your edges. It can be increasing the quality, it can be increasing the efficiency, it can be adding the more values for the business as well. It's all when it all comes together in a nutshell, it's called cost optimization. So before jumping to the cost optimization techniques and strategies, let's discuss quickly about the cost optimization and the cost cutting. So when it comes to cost cutting, it refers to like a very immediate action, and which we have seen in during the pandemic situation, that laying off people, cutting the salaries, reducing the benefits, no more insurances, no more family benefits, no more paid leaves. All these, when it comes, it's called cost cutting, where you save a dollar value immediately by cutting all these things. Other initiatives that usually now the companies have taken, they have done it's the downsizing to a smaller office, moving towards the the virtual office, creating work from home options for employees, shortening number of hours. All these are like the examples of cost cutting. When it comes to cost optimization, it's not a one-time effort, it's a continuous effort, which is specifically designed to drive your spendings and your cost reduction while maximizing the business value. It's not about only the reducing the cost, it's also increasing and maximizing the business values and getting the more profit by cutting the cost plus maximizing the growth. Unlike the cost cutting, which is it's a one-time and very immediate activity. And like I told you, cost cutting is very immediate. It's a one-time action, whereas the cost optimization would be a long-term solution. To think about a long-term solution, you don't think about a very short term where you off-hire people and you will immediately save some amount. No, how will you use the best out of the same resources by optimizing the cost? This is what we call a cost optimization. Okay, so one thing which we have learned here is cost optimization doesn't mean the reduction of the cost. Now the problem, where the problem comes. The problem comes when we comes to the cost optimization. There are two challenges. One is when we struggle to deliver or we fail to stick. Why? The primary focus, our primary focus is always on the cost. When it comes to the cost optimization, we always think about reducing the cost, reducing the headcount. We do not think about maximizing the potentials and having adding the more values in the business. That's why we struggle to deliver, or when we start the optimization process, we fail to stick in the process because not all the company members, not all the organizations, not all of the stakeholders will be on the same page. So now few ideas when it comes to cost optimization in the business. So first thing is it's a continuous improvement culture process, which we mentioned before. Because what happened, we usually enterprises, organizations trapped by the attitude of that this is what we have always done. This is which can create waste. This is waste. This we can't do it. We have already done this. So we have to work collaboratively with the business leaders to identify and remove this waste, which is typically in the form of reworks or delays issues further up the line to process or to lean the improvement effect. These are the continuous improvement process. Second thing is customer self-care. Today, in this part of world, customer expect answer very quickly and on demand. You as a customer, me as a customer, I cannot wait for a week. I cannot wait for a days to come back and revert back. I need an answer very quickly. How you can make this? We have seen this, especially after this COVID situation. This WhatsApp groups came. This automated banks have done their customer service to automation. You just have to type and you will talk to the computer, and the computer will reply. So these are the things which we, when it comes to the customer self-service, we can make this to be optimization. Then it comes to the improving business efficiency through analytics. We usually underestimate the value of analytics beyond conventional business intelligence because why our management do not agree on the conventional business. Unlike the customer retention or marketing responses, can have a big impact on the business when it comes to optimization. We have to be analytic. We have to think out of the box. We have to think like how our data can work because in this part of world and now in this era, data is a weapon. All your data, it's the thing which is taking like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. You talk about something, you think about something, it's collecting the data, and accordingly, because I'll give you one more example. For example, you're watching a YouTube channel. If you are a person who skip ad immediately at the starting of the video, it will not show you the video at the end. Similarly, if you are the person who will like to see the ads, it will show you the ad at once only. If you are the person who don't like to see the ads, it will show you in between and the ads which you cannot skip at all. So these are the efficiencies. These are the data. How they know that okay, how you are like smart or what they are doing. They are using all the data. So then then it comes to the improving asset management.
Hi,
Asset
yes,
was
sir. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I think there's some problem with the microphone. The viewers are not able to hear you, correct?
okay. I'm really sorry. Can you hear me now?
I think this is better. If anybody can, in the chat,
I
let me know if you're hearing now. Yes, someone said it's better now. Okay.
okay. That's great. That's great. I'm really sorry for that. So okay. So let's proceed further. So then it comes to the process of automation. You know the automation process. I'm trying to speak a little more louder so you can be more audible to be clearly. So when it comes to the automation, we have moved the industry, our warehouses, our inventories, and everything to the robotics. And we have a leverage the Internet of Things, the smart machines, to build intelligence business processes. All these things are like where the world is moving toward the cost optimization. We are using the process automation. Then obviously improving the asset management. Like yes, we were there in the asset management. So earlier days, as the how we can improving our assets by doing the cost optimization, by using the techniques, by using the technology in these days where we are like we are lot of technologies available, utilizing the same, utilizing the process automation, utilizing the Internet of Things to offer real-time information and the performance to allow the enterprise organizations to make better decision about assets. What are the lifetime of the asset? What are the total cost of the ownership of the assets when this asset is going to depreciate? And similarly, we can optimize our supply chain, improving inventory management. When it comes to inventory management, earlier days the inventory was the assets. Now it's a liability. No one want to hold the inventory for a very long time. You go to IKEA wherever you are in the part of the world. Like here in GCC, we have a Lulu, we have a Carrefour. These are big superstores. Everyone is going to the supplier vendor managed inventory. No one want to manage the inventory for a long time. Keep the inventory. Why? Because it's a liability on them. World is changing. World is going toward the passbook requirement. World is going toward the customization. So no one wants to do that. Then the final thing is business process outsourcing, where all the organization is focusing purely on the core competency of the organization. They're not focusing on, like, this is for the call centers, the back office. The back offices are mostly in the organization over here in the UAE, in the GCC. They have their back offices back in India, back in Pakistan, back in somewhere in the part of the world where they have, like, they can utilize the best cost over there. So these are the cost of the part of the cost optimizations. Okay, I'm trying to change the slide. Can you see the next slide? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, then few steps when it comes to the strategic cost reduction or the cost optimization. How we can start with this? Anything which we start, it start with that strategy. You cannot wake up one day and start into the cost optimization process. We have to have a very clear strategy, which should be very clear with the whole organization, every member of the organization. Why? Because when it comes to change, this is the hardest thing to accept for the people. It's a human nature. It's a normal thing. When you change something, you have to give the awareness to the people that we are trying to do the cost optimization. It doesn't mean that we are going to reduce our salaries. We will not off hire people. We will not cut the overtimes. We are trying to do some optimization process. These are the strategies. These are our short-term goals. These are our long-term goals. This is how the organization will drive. This is how the organization will proceed in next 5 years. So first thing is, think, sit with your internal stakeholder, with your external stakeholders, know the pestle factors like political, economical, environmental, your legal factors, your social factors, what are the external factors, what are your internal factors. Do some SWOT analysis, like where, again, I think seems like audio is having issues, some background noises. I'm sitting alone in a room, Anik. I don't know why. I think it's still, and so it's still the same issue with the voice.
I think probably the mics that you're using, I'm not sure. There's a little bit of disturbance. Maybe if you can speak a little louder, then that'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I will try to keep the voice consistent higher. Okay,
All
I can
right.
see more
Okay.
and more people. Yes, voice is not clear. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so okay, I'll start this again with very quick about the strategy which we were talking about. Like when it comes to the strategic cost reduction, we have to think about, we have to make a strategically the action. We cannot just start optimizing the cost. We have to think about all of our pestle factors, all about internal factors, our external factors, and then we have to do some sort analysis, like what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are our opportunities, how we can optimize this cost for year better now. Thank you, Shrikanta. So how we can optimize this cost? So starting with the strategy, anything is strategy. See, there are few things which we do in our daily life. We deliberately know it or not. First thing is a negotiation in your life. Those who are married, those who have a kids, they negotiate daily with their kids. You daily negotiate with your spouse, going to the supermarket, going for the shopping, or going for outing. You negotiate daily. Okay. Then second thing is a trade-offs. You trade off with your wife, like, okay, let's go to IKEA for some furniture purchases. Okay, let's do one thing. Instead of going to IKEA, let's go to the furniture market. You have a friend over there. You will visit your friend also. And the end of the day, you don't want to go IKEA. Why? Because you don't want to spend more over there. You want to go to the furniture market and just catch up some few things. So you trade off. Second thing is the cost optimization also. When it comes to the third thing is a strategy, not the cost optimization. It's a strategy. You move to your new house, you're planning to move to your new country, you're planning to move to your job. You cannot just one day wake up and say, like, I don't want to work this anymore, class, I want to move my home, I want to move my job. You think with the strategy. The first thing is strategy. Then Align the cost to strategy. What do you want to reduce? You cannot cut every cost. You cannot fire your drivers when you're in the logistic industry. It's like, let's a truck park in the parking, or fire all the drivers. You cannot do that. Why? Because you need something to run the business. You need something to run the your core competency to work on. So that's why it comes, when it comes to the aligning the cost, there are good costs and the non-essential, which are bad costs, which we will discuss in the next slide in little more detail. Then aim higher. Don't think about pennies to save the penny today. You want to save some penny today, and then later on you'll be spending more dollars just to cover up that. So be bold, be brave, and be creative. Use some technology, use the innovations, use the ARP system. I have been through so many organizations where they are still using the old school methods of recording the things. They're not going to ERP. Why? Because they don't trust on technologies. This is not a way you work. This is, we need to think about the innovations. We need to think about the re-engineering of the process. For example, I'll give you one. I'm from a logistic industry. When it comes to the transportation, we don't work in a way like what will be the cost from from origin to destination. We work on the innovation, we work on the optimization by doing the pallet cost of the delivery, how we can make this more efficient by doing the double stacking, by reducing the pallet size, by cutting the edges of the pallets, and like instead of doing 28 pallets, we can deliver 30 pallets, where we can have a more unit economic cost, working on economies of scale. So these are the aims which we have to think about it. And not me as a not individual, I mean, not we have to as a management, as an organization, we have to think in such a way where we can set a direction and so show some leadership skills. Then create a culture for cost optimization. That's a very important thing which I told initially, that culture is very important. Otherwise, people start thinking that the company is trying to save some cost and tomorrow we will get fired. No, this is not like that. We have to ensure that you be the culture of ownership and incentivize the continuous improvement process. That no, this is the improvement process. How we can improve further, how we can make, how we can save further cost, and by saving the cost, you will get the incentives, you will get the bonuses in the end of the year. So that the thought process will change actually. Okay. Um, okay. So then, okay. This is the part of, again, the strategies where we have to do the spend analysis. Spend analysis is the key thing as a procurement, as a supply chain professional, where we need to understand which are our biggest spend, which are our tail spend, what are our maverick spend, why we can, what are our 80-20 spend. We have to do some ABC analysis on that, and then we can work on the cost optimization, how we can reduce the extra cost, how we can reduce the extra, how we can save some further dollars on that each spend. When it comes to online auction, yes, this is one of the strategy where we can use online auctions, e-tender, and when it comes to procurement cost reduction opportunities, where you don't have to email, you don't have to follow up with the vendor, you don't have to make an Excel sheet, you don't have to make a trackers for everything, you don't have to make the trip sheets. Just do the auction, doing the e-tendering process by using any of the software. I'm not promoting, but it's maybe a SAP Ariba, maybe a Oracle, maybe a Citrix or anything. This is saving your cost, this is saving your time. In the meanwhile, you can work on your strategical work rather than doing some tactical work. Don't overlook the importance of inventory management. Inventory management, which we discussed earlier, inventory is a liability right now. Don't overlook it. Don't have a surplus inventory. Don't have an excess inventory. Cut your inventory to the short. And by doing how? By doing this spend analysis, where we'll go. What are our biggest spend? What are our A category, B category, and C category? Then embrace change as an opportunity. Think every change, think every step as an opportunity to grow further. You will have a more sale, you will have a more profit, you will have a more growth as an organization. And then using the value of the using data to reduce costs, which we have already discussed this. Now it comes to good costs and the bad costs. So the key priority in strategic cost reduction is targeting resources where they can earn the best return rather than just cutting the cost. which we discussed in our first slide, that how we can get the best out of your cost. I'll give you one example over here in this world. I don't want to name the airlines, but maybe Virgin Airline, maybe Jet Airways, maybe Emirates Airline in UAE. When it comes to pandemic, they fired the whole staff. 30%, 50%. They started with 60%, then 50%, and 30%. They kept the staff as lower as possible. They fired everyone. When the situation is starting to settling down, then they call the trainers again. Why? Because you have to retain your customer. You have to keep something over there. You have to keep the show running. So you have to think about it. The starting point where the differentiate come, the capabilities need, which you need to fuel up the growth of your organization, where you have to make the organization profitable. You need to think about which is the good cost as compared to the lower your performing and business and inefficient operations, which is targeting your elimination of your bad cost. So this is the bad cost. This is not required right now. Maybe you can have a multiple examples in the current industries. Here, the banking industries, which I think I discussed this in the banking industry, they moved. I'll give you one more example here. Mashrik Bank in GCC. They moved all their staff. I think someone is again having some voice sound not good. Oh my God, I'm trying to speak as much as I can louder, but I'm really sorry, Allah.
Okay, yes, I just wanted to know, are you on your headphones?
Yes.
Okay, how about we plug that out and use it without the headphones? Would that be okay with you?
I can try. Yep, I can try.
Yeah, let's try that.
Is it better?
Can I have a listen to you again? Yeah.
Okay, is it better, Imso?
Yes, I think this is better. Yeah.
Okay, let me continue with this. So
Okay.
yeah, so okay, some more people want to, yes, better now, please process. Thank you. Okay, so where were we? Yes, so the Mashri Bank here, what they did, they, instead of off hiring everyone and saying them that from tomorrow we don't need you, they told them wherever you belongs to, which country you belongs to, in Nepal, Bangladesh. Why I'm giving you this example, because it's the live examples here. Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, move back to your country. They will give you the salary of about your country, wherever like you belongs to, and you can work from there. You can work as a back office over there, your finance, your FSSC office, your call centers. They moved everything to this way. So this is because this is the core competency. They need customer service. They need some people to run the show. So they did the cost optimization. They didn't do the cost cutting. Okay, now the procurement initiative. So as a procurement professional, I hope like most of the people here are belongs to procurement or maybe supply chain. So as a procurement professional, we need to start thinking of that. We have to think out of the box. We don't have to be just a postman. We are not a postman. We cannot work like taking the requisition, taking the best rates, compare three best rates, making a the commercial review, send it to the end user. You need this, yes sir, thank you very much, processing the LPO, and then no, we think about out of the box. We have to do some strategical analytics in how we can save this cost further, how we can best optimize this, how we can re-engineering this. So there should be a short-term goals and some long-term goal as a procurement professional. What I think, what I like the best in the procurement is basically we have a power of rejecting the uh, specification, and not rejecting, I will say. Maybe some people from operation will be able will feel offended. But we can challenge the specification. This is what I like best in the in a procurement. We can ask them how we can optimize this, how we can uh, make this a more cheaper, how we can make this more efficient, how we can make this more greener. This is the best thing which I like in procurement. Few of the initiatives we'll discuss in the next slide. Short-term initiatives and a quick wins. Revisit your current contract term. Let's see, 60 days, payment terms, 90 days payment terms, 120 days payment terms. Let's revisit this. How we can have add some penalty clauses over there. How we can have a quick invoice values. How we can save some time on the what you call that replacements of when it comes to why I'm giving you more examples of logistics because I belong to a logistic industry, replacements of the vehicles, how we can have the just in time, how we can have the hedging, price hedging. These are the contract terms which we can revisit and we can just revise it. This is the quick win. It doesn't require much time. Tomorrow go contract, review it, think think from their perspective. Okay, what if I would be there from the end user, how we can do this. Challenging the specification, you have a conformance specification, you have a performance specification. Okay, when it comes to performance, that's okay. When it conformance, you cannot challenge a lot, but you can ask them, okay, like why you need this, why you need that. When I was in the FMCG industry, they always come with like we need if some of the people from the FMCG they can relate this maybe, we need the stainless steel of 306 grade. We need 316 grade. Why you need 306 grade? Why you need 316 grade? Where you want to use this? Tell me. No, no, this is not your call. This is the end user call. I know this is end user call. This is operation call. I'm not challenging technically. I'm not technically sound, but I'm just asking like how we can make this more cheaper and how we can make this more efficient. Like I told you, eliminating the maverick spend, the tail spend, how we can like unnecessary going out of the suppliers, out of the box. We usually receive a lot of the time from operation that look into this supplier because they're comfortable working with them, whatever the reason is. We need to think about why we want to eliminate this. We want why we want to go, call off contract. Why we want to go out of the contract? This is cost. Everything is a cost. So if we are not doing this, start doing this. Again, someone from the chat. I think it's a question.
Yes, we can have the questions
We
later
can
on.
have it later on. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Challenging the operational cost, which we discussed. Review uncompetitive suppliers. That's an important thing. We usually don't do a supplier reviews, of supplier performance reviews. We usually don't do a quarter reviews of our suppliers. Unless and until we will not give a feedback to the suppliers, they will not know what are their positions, what are their pointers they have to work, what are their SLAs, what are their KPIs. Again, going back to the first point, which is revisiting contract terms, are SLAs properly, clearly mentioned there? What are the KPIs, how we can measure their performance? This is the best thing when we come to the quarter review meeting. The data will say, the paper will say. You don't have to say anything. Operation will definitely say, you always face this challenge. This vendor is not good. Okay, not good. What do you mean by not good? Can you explain me not good? No, because it doesn't pick up my call. What? How many times doesn't pick up your call? It's happened once in a blue moon, maybe, but they're feeling like because when there is a requirement, they don't pick up the call, then that's why they are feeling it. Let the document say, let the KPIs reflect their performance. It should be, is it a A grade supplier? Is it a B grade supplier? But what we are usually doing, we are categorizing our supplier into A category, B category, and C category. In the end of the year, when we consolidate the performance of each quarter, we tell our suppliers, in the end of the year, if you are in a C category, thank you very much, tata, bye bye. If you are in the B category, you will get the warning letter. You will get another 1 or 2 months to work upon all these pointers on these KPIs. If you will improve your performance, thank you very much. Otherwise, tata, bye bye. A grade and B grade, A plus suppliers, or maybe you can categorize according to your requirement. By the way, we will work with them. We will have more business, and we usually send appreciation letters with them. So this is how we can remove our uncompetitive suppliers. We don't let the supplier run your business. You run your suppliers. Then use the data you have. That's the best thing which we need to do is every month run the report, whatever, regardless you are the software you are using, is it ERP, is it SAP, or whatever you are using. Run the data, maintain a data, and check how you can, which are those. Okay, so first of all, like your top 10 spends, what are the categories, what are your top 10 suppliers, how you can have a plan B for this supply. Is it a single source supplier? Is it a multiple suppliers? How you can optimize this further? How we can have a rebate from the suppliers? How we can optimize this? How we can get the best out from the suppliers? This is the power of the data. Then medium and long term initiatives. Once you achieve the short term initiative, then you have to move toward the long term initiative, which are like investigating outsources, again which we discussed, outsourcing your no need to outsource your core competencies. You can outsource your tactical things. I was reading somewhere in the report. I don't remember exactly. It's been a week now. By 2026, 50% of the population will be jobless. Why? Because everything will be automatized, like will be automation, and people will outsource all their core activity, this operational activities. So this is the world where the world is moving by using the technology, using the artificial intelligence. Now you can see Amazon, you can see DHL, you can see FedEx. All of them are using their robotics for their warehousing, for their 3PLs, for managing their inventories and everything. Then then implement the category management. As a procurement professional, I cannot do everything. I cannot do a technical, I cannot do operation, I cannot do everything. You have to categorize your spends in direct, indirect, in indirect, marketing, logistics, and make the categories of each of your departments. Then centralize the procurement. Centralized procurement is again, it's very important. Today we were debating on one of the event in the morning that is it centralized procurement good? Is it a decentralized, or is it a hybrid model? Which one is the best efficient model to work on? I would say, this is my personal opinion, there is no thumb rule for that, but the hybrid model is the best model, where you can have all the data. Try to move toward the centralized procurement, which I tried in my previous organization. With I joined, it was like completely decentralized. We tried to move toward the centralized data, where the we have the power of economies of scale. We can have a more data available. The whole information is coming towards the center point, and then we can work on a one strategy. Why? Because in decentralization, everyone is trying to work according to their brain. We are getting maybe the same stuff of different prices. You are getting the same spare parts of OEM, maybe two different prices. Why? Because it's not decentralized. Because we are not interconnected. It's simple. Decentralized means we are not interconnected. Centralized, it's like we are connected with each other. We know each other. We are, as a union, we can work on that. Reducing the procurement risk. How we can reduce the procurement risk? Reduce the procurement risk for the long term risk. You cannot reduce the work on a short term. This should be a long term strategy. How we can work on the okay. Now, sorry, I said I'll not make much of your time, but this is like very interesting topic. Now we reached to a cost optimization. How we can make a sustainable cost optimization, how we can make it sustainable, how we can make it a continuous process, how we can make a long term. First thing is, we need to conduct a spend analysis every month. It is the key of the procurement excellence. Spend analysis, we should do every month our spend analysis. Then put the training of your staff, how to do the spend analysis and how to get the best data. It's not only about data. I have come across a lot of data in my life. I never used it in that way. Why? Because I never know how to get the best out of from the data. What are the important things we can get out of the data? Managing our supplier relationship. Again, your supplier is key for your to run the show. Because of, I always say to my suppliers that you are the partner of my business. Why? Because of you, I am here in the market, and because of me, you are in the market. It's not a one way. You cannot have a one way communication. It should be a good relationship. Move your spectrum towards the greener, towards the more collaborative side. From Instead of having a at the arm's length or to the co-destiny, move it towards the collaborative side. Discuss, be transparent, tell your suppliers how we can. I always tell my suppliers, I don't want to do a business on your cost. I want a win-win situation. I don't want to do on a win-loss situation. Tell me how we can work uh, together, how we can make you also profitable and me also, how we can optimize this. This is the best thing. And the total cost of the management. Okay, I think this is the last slide. Then how we can lower the operation cost. Again, we have discussed all these things like embracing the technology, moving towards the like Skype, like Teams. No one was using Zoom and Skype to that level before this pandemic situation. Now you can see like we have a virtual conference, we have a World Summit on Skype. I would never thought about it to be a part of a virtual procurement conference. Why? Because we were like we used to of going in a face to face when we exchange energies, when we discuss things face to face. Outsourcing, shop around the better rates. Yes, this is very important. Again, it's not only about uh, getting the highest rate, get the best rate from the market and the best out of the from the rates also. Not only the rates, but get the best result also. Telecommunicate, communicate with each other. Now it's a telecommunication. Now it's an e-meet. I received an email day before yesterday. One of my vendor. It was nice e-meeting you. Okay, that's nice. Pay invoices early on time. When you pay early on time to your supplier, you can have a better rebate. You can have a better payment terms from the suppliers. There are a lot of suppliers who are ready to pay 10% from the as a rebate if you will pay within the agreed payment terms, which we usually don't do. I don't know about the different part of the world, but here in UAE, in GCC, it's a very bad practice of exceeding the payment terms. Identifying the inefficiencies, cutting your edges. Like I told, like we discussed earlier, we have to identify what are our inefficiencies in the business, which is wasting your time. Eliminate the waste. The best thing of Toyota, that Japanese guy, I forget his name, uh, the seven waste. We have to work on that. Cancel unused service. No need access minutes. I'll give you one example over here. In my previous organization, we were providing SIM cards, mobile phones, and the 10 GB of data to all our drivers for the deliveries. We did some analysis. We run the report. We asked the vendor to give me the 6 month of the data. When we took the average usage of your minutes would not be of the data, sorry, would not be more than 3 GB. Rest of the data they were using for YouTube, they were using for listening songs, they were using for other activities. So what we did our analysis, we changed the data package, we canceled the unused services. Why? Because most of the drivers, they were not using the data effectively for the organization, and we literally saved 1.6 billion dirhams. Why? It's not about one SIM card, it's about 1,500 SIM cards. Go greener. Go greener. It's important. Why? Because everyone is talking about sustainability, and we need to think about the sustainability because this world is very important for us. So thank you